Dear student, now I give lecture on measurement of dielectric constant and loss factor. The previous lecture videos we studied about the content beyond the syllabus, that is the measurement of direct current resistivity. But the measurement of dielectric constant and loss factor is the one of the content of the non-destructive testing of material and electrical apparatus. Under measurement of dielectric constant and loss factor, we studied about the introduction to measurement of dielectric constant and loss factor and a dielectric response in time varying alternating current fields. Actually, the measurement of dielectric constant and loss factor is subdivided into introduction, dielectric response in time varying AC field, measurement ranges, low frequency measuring methods, that is 0 to 10 Hz, power frequency measuring methods. In power frequency measuring methods, high voltage carrying bridge. Against high voltage carrying bridge is subdivided into three types: audio frequency measuring techniques and detectors in dielectric measurements. In this lecture video, we only studied about the introduction and dielectric response in time varying AC field. In the introduction to measurement of dielectric constant and loss factor, many insulating substances have dielectric constant greater than unity and have dielectric loss when subjected to AC voltages. And then these quantities is subdivided into two quantities. One is dielectric constant, another one is loss factor, which are dependent on the magnitude of the voltage stress and on the frequency of the applied voltage. When a dielectric is used in an electrical equipment such as cable or a capacitor, the variation of these quantities with the frequency is of the importance. The microscopic properties of the dielectrics are described by combining the variation of these two quantities, like dielectric constant and loss factor, into one complex quantity known as complex permittivity and determining them at various frequencies. Now, the capacitor is connected to a sinusoidal voltage source small v is equal to V0 into exponential j omega t. Then the angular frequency is determined by using the formula omega is equal to 2 pi f. The capacitor having the charge, which is denoted by Q, which is calculated by using the formula C0 into V. The capacitor having the charging current, which is denoted by IC, is calculated by using the formula IC equal to dQ by dt, that is equal to j omega C0 V. Suppose the dielectric medium is vacuum. The C0 is the vacuum capacitance or the geometric capacitance of the capacitor. The charging current IC leads the voltage, which is denoted by VC, by an angle 90 degree. If the capacitor is filled with a permittivity dielectric, that is epsilon dash, the capacitance of the capacitor C is calculated by using the formula C equal to C0 into epsilon dash divided by epsilon naught, that is equal to C0 into K dash, where K dash represents a relative dielectric constant of the material with respect to vacuum. The total current I is the sum of the charging current IC and the loss component of the current IL, which is equal to j omega CV plus GV, that is equal to j omega C plus G into V. In the formula, IC represents charging current, IL represents loss component of the current, V is the voltage, G is the conductance of the dielectric material. Now you see the phasor diagram. This is the phasor diagram of the capacitor. The figure A represents the phasor diagram of ideal capacitor. The figure B represents the phasor diagram of capacitor with a lossy dielectric. Now you see the phasor diagram. VC is taken along the x-axis and then IC, that means the charging current IC leads VC by an angle 90 degree because this is the capacitor. As per the theory concept or the property of the capacitor, the current always leads the voltage. Then the phasor diagram B, that is the capacitor with a lossy dielectric. Here also the IC leads the voltage V by an angle 90 degree, but the total current I leads the voltage V by an angle theta. The loss of the component current IL in phase with the voltage. So as per the theory concept, the total current I is the sum of loss component of the current IL and the charging current IC. The angle between the total current I and charging current IC is the delta. Okay, that is the loss angle or dissipation factor angle. The angle between the loss component of the current IL and the total current I, that angle is theta. That is the phase angle, and then the theta is the angle between V and I also. How to calculate the loss tangent, that is equal to the frequency response. That is, it would be the premature to conclude that the dielectric material correspond to an RC parallel circuit in electrical behavior. The frequency response of this phasor diagram circuit, which can be expressed as the ratio of the loss current to the charging current, that is the loss tangent is equal to loss current divided by charging current, that is equal to tan delta equal to D equal to IL divided by IC, that is equal to 1 divided by omega CR. This formula may not be at all agree with the result actually observed because the conductance need not to be due to the migration of charges or the charge carries but may represent any other energy consuming process. Hence, it is customary to refer the existence of a loss current in addition to the charging current by introducing complex permittivity K asterisk, that is equal to epsilon dash minus J epsilon double dash, where K asterisk represents complex relative permittivity or complex dielectric constant. Epsilon dash represents permittivity. Epsilon double dash represents the loss factor. Then how to calculate the current? I is equal to J omega epsilon dash plus omega epsilon double dash into C naught divided by epsilon naught into small v, that is equal to J omega C naught K asterisk small v. In this formula, epsilon naught is nothing but the absolute permittivity. Epsilon double dash loss factor, epsilon dash permittivity, omega is the angular frequency, where K asterisk is equal to epsilon dash minus J epsilon double dash divided by epsilon naught, that is equal to K dash minus J K double dash. The K double dash represents the relative loss factor. The loss tangent tan delta, that is equal to epsilon double dash divided by epsilon naught, that is equal to K double dash divided by K dash. By using this formula also, which is used to calculate the loss tangent tan delta. Then how can calculate the dielectric conductivity dou, that is equal to omega epsilon double dash, where omega is the angular frequency, epsilon double dash is the loss factor. How to calculate the relative permittivity K dash, that is equal to epsilon dash divided by epsilon naught only. Epsilon naught is the absolute permittivity. The K dash represents the dielectric constant or relative permittivity epsilon r. The flux density D is calculated by using the formula epsilon naught capital E plus P, that is equal to epsilon naught into 1 plus psi, that is E, where D is the flux density, P is the polarization, E is the electric field, epsilon naught is the absolute permittivity, the psi is the dielectric susceptibility of the material with a varying electric field E of t. E of t means the electric field E changes with respect to the time t. Then we calculate in dielectric measurements, then we calculate the J of t is equal to dou E of t plus del d of t divided by del t, that is equal to dou E of t plus epsilon naught into del E of t divided by del t plus del P of t divided by del t, that is equal to dou plus epsilon naught into 1 plus psi into del of t plus f of t into E of t, where del of t is nothing but the instantaneous impulse response. The f of t is the further response obtained. The polarization of the current, which is obtained in terms of the geometrical capacitance C0 without electrode material, is I of t is equal to C0 V into dou naught divided by epsilon naught plus 1 plus psi del of t plus f of t, where capital V is the applied voltage that produces the electric field E of t. If the equations are transferred into the frequency domain omega, that is, the t is nothing but the time domain. For example, f of t means the t is the time domain, but j of omega, that is the frequency domain. So therefore all the time domain equations are transferred into frequency domain equations, and with the complex frequency concept we get j of omega, that is equal to E of omega into del, it is the dou naught plus j omega epsilon naught into 1 plus f into omega, and then x of omega is equal to f of omega is equal to psi dash omega minus j psi double dash omega, where f of omega is the complex susceptibility. Okay. Then we calculate the complex permittivity epsilon asterisk of omega, that means complex permittivity in the frequency domain is given by epsilon asterisk of omega, that is equal to epsilon dash of omega minus j epsilon double dash of omega, that is equal to 1 plus psi of omega minus j psi double dash of omega. From the above equation we calculate the dissipation factor tan delta is tan del of omega, that means the dissipation factor in the frequency domain omega. So therefore the tan del of omega, that is equal to epsilon double dash of omega plus dou divided by epsilon naught into omega divided by epsilon r of omega, where epsilon r of the omega is the effective dielectric constant, that is epsilon of omega divided by epsilon naught. Finally, the tan del of omega is equal to epsilon double dash of omega plus dou divided by epsilon naught into omega divided by epsilon r of omega. This equation clearly shows that the loss factor or the dissipation factor tan delta is the function of frequency, that is angular frequency omega, and is hence it is to be determined or measured over a frequency range. Students, in this lecture video, you understood the introduction to measurement of dielectric constant and loss factor, and then capacitor phasor diagrams and a dielectric response in time varying alternating current fields. Thank you students for watching this video.